monster.
A lot of space.
Maybe he just wants to massacre him.
Go on out there and kill them. Wipe them out. All of them. To the very last man. Violence. Brutality.
Trick-or-treaters are all dead. Isn't it beautiful? Take a walk in the cemetery. Get eaten up by cannibals.
Celebrate Halloween. Love and kisses, Penny baby.
Good evening, and welcome to episode 11. Wow, we've got fucking 11 of these things? Of Dead Entertainment's live commentary series. Bates here. And with me, as always, my co-host of Way of Life Live and fellow Dead Entertainment writer, Remake Mungus. How goes it tonight in Mungusville?
Well, after the day I had today, I guess during that little intro or little song and dance that we have in the beginning, I killed one beer already, so I'm going to be running out very soon, I'm sure. How are you?
Oh, just sort of glad that today is Friday, and yeah, it's just been one of those weeks, and then yeah.
That's been my month, man.
Yeah. So here we are for another commentary. It's almost done.
Number 11.
Yeah, it's been a little while since the last one, but we had so much fun. It took so much time to recover from that last one. That's what it was. Right?
I blame Resident Evil 2 for that.
You're still at the gas station.
And not only am I still in the gas station, but I'm also contemplating buying Anthem tonight, which gives me yet another video game to not play. So we'll see how that goes. But in any case, you killed off that entire game for the most part, aside from what, Tofu?
Yep, just Tofu. I've done both A's and B's on hardcore, all the DLC and Hunk minigame. I just got to do Tofu, and now I'm actually contemplating just doing like very casual speedruns. I say casual because the world record for a lot of the scenarios is like 54 minutes and change, and I can't menu for shit, so I'll pretty much be doing like speedruns, and anything under like 90 minutes I would consider good, and I'll just keep trying to do, just beat personal best, and I'll be doing them on hardcore because I see people running on normal, and it's pretty lame. If you're gonna speed run the game, do it on hardcore, you pussies.
Yeah, I give you credit for jumping right into the game on hardcore. Like me, I'm like, is there a story mode option? Because I'm terrible at video games. I just really love to enjoy the experience. That's all I'm in it for.
So look for that coming up pretty soon. I might do a couple runs offline to try to memorize like the optimized paths and everything on what to do. I think I'm going to be doing B scenarios rather than A scenarios. I don't like the A scenario so much. But that's neither here nor there. Also joining us tonight because he had so much fun on the last live commentary we did. Back again, all the way from the blistering hot Sweden, because you know how those Sweden winters are, man. It's just nothing but sun and heat. You know, they don't get no snow over there. He doesn't have to dig out. He doesn't have to dig out his Volvo every morning. Our good buddy Tardulv, aka Stefan. How you doing over there tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm still waiting for the system collapse that a lot of people on Twitter says Sweden has. But it's pretty good. It's cold as fuck in my apartment right now. I don't know why. I think a radiator might have stopped working. But
go borrow your lizard's heat lamp.
No, he still needs that.
We don't want our co-host tonight, our guest host tonight, to dry out.
Yeah. Yeah, I had fun last time I hung out with you guys, and that was really something. Because it's really fun to watch movies like this. Also, I want to say about the speedruns, it kind of reminds me of when I played Silent Hill 2 a whole lot. I played through the game like at least around 20 times or something like that. So I decided one day that I was going to do the best I could and complete it, the quickest I could. So I did it. I did actually finish the game in 5 hours. The game is estimated to be around 10 to 12 hours. And
wow.
I was like, fuck yeah, I'm good at this. And then I looked at the record and it was like 1 hour. And I was like, yeah, fuck you, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, it gets pretty discouraging. As I said, I've seen people do Leon A in 54 minutes and change on normal mode. So, they're big old pussies, as I said. So if you're not playing on hardcore, you're a pussy. I don't care.
Yeah, I played Silent Hill 2 on hard mode, or I think it's called Nightmare. But still, I already had the solutions for all the puzzles written down since I'd done them a couple of times, and I did it in 5 hours. I would say that without any, sheets or shortcuts that I don't know of, it's a pretty good time still.
Yeah,
but it was like I watched a 1 hour run and I was like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, it's a good way to make you feel like shit, watching people beat one of your favorite games and like it's nothing. It's like, oh, what am I doing wrong?
Not to go into too much of a tangent, but what I like actually watching is when you see somebody accomplish something that's like almost impossible. I remember like last year, somebody did like a Mario Brothers speed run, and people were pointing out how it was cheating and how it was like faked, like I'm talking like college dissertation level write-ups of why this guy cheated the system and he shouldn't be heralded for the accomplishment. And it's these motherfuckers on the internet get serious about this gaming shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I know this guy didn't cheat his record. It's just that I know what I already know. I look at the map too many times because as a Silent Hill player, looking at the map is the only comfort you got. So it's like, so as soon as there is a crossway somewhere, you just take up the map and look at it and like, how do I have to go? And then the next time you come to a turn, you look at the map again, and it's like, it's just a reflex that you need to get that out of the system before you do speed runs, because basically that takes up a lot of time. You need to know where to go.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm so glad that I'm bad at video games because I don't even have to worry about any of that. I'll leave that to you guys. I'll watch you guys on your channels.
Yeah, right now I'm mostly playing Jurassic World Evolutions anyways, so I'm just having people getting eaten by velociraptors all the time.
Sounds like bliss to me.
the game is really fun if you haven't played it. If you like simulators, like theme park and stuff like that, so building your own Jurassic Park is kind of fun. But the game is kind of fucked as well, and add how it works because like the fences you have. There's only one type of fence, and it's an electrical fence, and they always break.
My favorite.
Like what? Like why can't I put up concrete walls around my Velociraptors? What kind of fucking maniac would only have electrical fencing around that kind of creature?
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm totally leaving that one. I'm leaving that vibe.
All right, well let's move on. So last commentary, which was about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we watched Silent Night, Bloody Night.
And it was a blast.
It was. If you guys
my god.
If you missed that one, that is, you can find it on our archives on the channel, and yeah, you'll be really confused, but trust me when I say that was a really, really fun episode.
I mean, was any of us coming out of that movie not well, you were a little bit more into it than the other.
I really liked it. I still haven't rewatched it. I do plan on rewatching it, without distractions.
Braver than the troops.
Distractions, he says.
But thankfully, tonight's movie is a movie I have seen many times. We all have seen this movie. We're not going into this one blind. And tonight's movie is the 1990 remake, Tom Savini's remake, of Night of the Living Dead. This is
yeah.
Most people who follow me on Twitter know this to be one of my all-time favorite movies and my favorite remake ever, to the point where I actually hold this movie up higher than I do the original.
I disagree.
Wow.
Go on.
Most people do, but I've put up my arguments, and it means not. I'm not slighting the original at all. The original is a masterpiece.
No, you're very respectful of it, at least, and I absolutely love this movie too. But I just I look at it from without the first one, you wouldn't have this one. But the changes made in this movie are phenomenal. So, absolutely great film.
And this movie follows almost the exact same path as the original. They don't deviate much. They make some great little changes, but for the most part, the core mechanics and the core film are left completely unchanged.
Oh, absolutely, very smart.
Yeah, I think this one. I like this one. I think my favorite remake is still The Hills Have Eyes, but if I remember this one correctly, it's pretty good. So
yeah, Hills Have Eyes is a really good one too. As is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought that was a phenomenal remake as well.
I think Nightmare on Elm Street is the best remake.
Oh yeah,
I like the sequel to Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw Massacre called Friday the 13th remake.
It really was. It was directed by the same guy, right? Was that Marcus Nispel?
I don't think.
And Hills of Eyes was Alexandra Aja, the high tension guy, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the Friday the 13th remake, the real issue of that movie is that they try to cram too many of the other movies into one movie.
Yes.
So it's very, very fast paced, very not coherent, and it just goes on. I think that's a movie we need to do a commentary on soon, because it's a good, very it's a good movie, but
it's a serviceable film, and it's a great remake, but there's so many problems with it. And I'd really like to dive into that one of these days.
Yeah, I agree. We should put that on the docket and get that done, because I do enjoy that film, but I do have plenty of issues with it. But that's for another commentary. Now, how these commentaries work, we will not be streaming the movie on our YouTube channel. That's a big no-no. YouTube don't like that.
Tom Savini don't like that. And have you seen Tom Savini? What is he, 70? He probably could kick all of our ass.
And Tom Savini doesn't like me anyway, so exactly. I don't want to give him more of a reason to hate me.
He's gonna be punching us into the ground, just muttering "chill factor" over and over.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't want to piss Tom Savini off any more than I already have over the years. But we will not be streaming the movie.
Why have you pissed him off? Like, how?
I think we'll get into that in the comments.
No, we don't. I'm just fucking dumbfounded. Like,
yeah, I'll tell the story again because the story actually takes place over like a decade. But it's pretty funny. But
building up.
I'll get into that a little bit later. But hopefully you guys already own this movie somehow. That way you can watch with us. And what we'll do is if you guys have the movie and you just have it loaded up, ready to go, I'll give us a countdown. You hit play. We hit play at the same time. That way we're pretty much on the same part of the movie, so you understand what we're talking about as we're commentating.
Yeah, I'm working with my OBS here to get. Let's see.
We aren't professional fucking critics here, so we're gonna bullshit over the movie and have some fun. So hopefully you guys,
especially if you watched the last commentary, good lord.
Yeah, that'll give you a good idea.
If you want an accurate description of like our commentary style, like one of the best, I'd say go watch the Devil's Rejects one because that was one of our strongest one. Silent Night, Bloody Night was just hysterical, like in the many definitions of that word. Let's just say it that way.
Yep, pretty much. All right, so I think we've got all the pleasantries and nonsense out of the way. So why don't we go ahead? We'll play our little intro movie.
Let's do that.
I'm going to play the little intro movie before we go ahead and count down and start the real movie.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right, so everyone got their drinks and snacks and whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm looking pretty good over here. Down halfway to number 2.
Yeah, I'm about to run. I brought down 2, and I knew that wasn't going to be enough. So as soon as the movie starts, I'm just going to run up and grab another one.
I've got five sitting on my desk right here.
You know, I really miss having my little beer fridge down here because I don't know when I'm gonna get this stupid bar built. Hopefully
I need to
soon.
get a beer fridge. Fuck, why haven't I thought of that? I mean, I'm a single man.
Yeah, man.
You have needs.
I've got my ancient hotel refrigerator that you make fun of me for, but it keeps my beer cold.
All right.
I need to have a stash of whiskey bottles right here. No, that would probably be bad for my health.
I was gonna say a good problem to have, but hey.
Do you have? Is there a thing like Swedish whiskey, or do you just drink American whiskey?
Yeah, there is Swedish whiskey that I usually buy sometimes, but right now I'm just drinking some fucking Bell's.
All right.
Which is blended Scotch. But there is a Swedish whiskey called Mackmyra that I usually drink. It's pretty good.
Well, if you if you decide you're coming to the States over in July, you're gonna have to bring me some.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When I drink American bourbon, so I like different bourbons, like Jim Beams and stuff like that.
Well,
Because I don't like the actual whiskey. And
well, yeah.
Canadian whiskey is barely suitable for a mixed drink. It's
Yeah, you might as well. You can run a car off that shit.
Yeah, it smells a little bit like the stuff we use when we clean off chemicals at work. Like it's, yeah, I don't know.
For people that are tuning in late, the commentary hasn't started yet.
Well, don't worry. I actually don't even keep bourbon in my house. All I have is good scotch. It's the only type of whiskey I keep in my house.
Yeah, I found an American whiskey. I think it's called whiskey still, but it's 45%, and it's called something like Frontline or something like that. You know, it's very no Frontier, I think, and it's very an old styly type of bottle, and it basically burns your mouth out. It's I don't know what that is, but I think they want to, replicate how it was living in the frontier, and I just feel sorry for every person that was a drunkard at the time. It's it's horrible. It's absolutely terrifying.
Oh yes, it certainly sounds delicious. Well, enough with the pleasantries here. How about we go ahead and get this movie going. Hopefully anyone else watching at home or whatever got the movie loaded up. And we're going to be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it should be playing for you guys over there.
Oh my god, you divided by 0. There it is.
Only for a moment. Alright, so while the movie opens, I will go grab another beer, because I'm going to need it.
Makes it sound like it's a bad movie or something.
Don't get it up. Wait.
Very, very cool little intro.
Wait, I'm not getting it.
One of us always has technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try this in.
You're hearing the voice of Mr. Bill Moseley. I forgot Tom Tolles was in this.
Is he?
Yeah, just saw him in the credits.
Huh.
Why am I not getting the player to show?
Try hitting the reload player button in the bottom right-hand corner.
All right. Well, I'm trying to. Wait, I'm gonna. Why did it work for the YouTube videos? But
We had that problem last time too. If you see it, you'll see below the player, you'll see the name of the file. Maybe you could just click that and we'll tell you the time.
oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, now I got it. On which time are you?
I don't know if you'll be able to adjust it, but we're like
We're close.
250 in.
And Tom Tolles plays Harry Cooper in this. Very fitting, I would say.
It doesn't look like him at all.
Nah, but he was way younger. We're used to like House of a Thousand Corpses, Tom Tolles.
Yeah. I like that car.
Yeah, it's old Benz.
Yeah.
Back
I'm
when they used
never
to.
a fan of four-door cars at all.
Bastard.
I like Bill's like fancy like high class driving gloves.
Yeah.
He almost looks like he's wearing a Halloween costume. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
All I think about when I see him now is West Reanimator. It's like he looks just like that character.
She almost kind of looks like Barb.
I like how like the scene is like almost like a spitting image of the original.
Yeah.
And there's a tall man in the background.
Or Friday the 13th Doomsayer. It's Crazy Ralph.
Or head bashed Abe Lincoln. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that works too. That was a really cool switch up from the original. I enjoyed that. Give you a little bit of a twist there.
Yeah. I like the makeup.
And yeah, it's Tom Savini movie. Obviously, the makeup's going to be on point.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a ballsy move to remake a movie like this.
Yeah, but with Tom Savini having so much, personal relationship with Romero and doing, the work on Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, he was the right person.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree, and on top of that, it was written by George Romero. The screenplay for this movie was written by George Romero, so the collaboration between the two is just like a match made in heaven, more so than his makeup effects work with the early.
I kind of liked how the movie just fucking starts out immediately. No bullshit.
Oh yeah, no, it jumps right in. I love how Barbara, obviously is wearing glasses. She needs glasses for some purpose. She loses them almost immediately, and yet it does not affect her whatsoever the rest of the movie.
She might be, what is it, nearsighted, and might be required by law to wear them. Well,
yeah, I had that.
Now, what happened to this guy's tux?
Don't they do that? Like, don't they do that? Is that how they dress the cadet?
Maybe.
I read that they have split suits like that.
I guess it would be easier to dress a corpse that way.
Yeah, I've seen it before in movies, and I was wondering about it, and I've read that that's how a lot of them are dressed. Maybe not so much today, but back in the day.
Yeah, no, it's very possible.
That's some fucking solid glass.
Some of the zombies in this movie, they have some of the best facial expressions. There's one zombie. I'll point them out when it comes. It looks like James Karen from like Return of the Living Dead and shit.
Oh, a choker.
Nice.
She had a choker in the car. Oh, it was the handbrake, right?
Man, those Mercedes weren't built too well. It didn't handle that tree like a champ. If that was a Volvo, the tree would have broke.
I love that guy coming over the hill, still fighting with that split tux.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I saw like a Volvo half its front like yesterday, and it still just drove in the snow like nothing. It was.
What I love about a lot of these like Romero zombie movies is that there's always a naked zombie for some reason. We don't know why they're naked or how they got naked. I mean, did they get bitten while they were having sex? I don't know, but there are always naked zombies.
Yeah, but I like that. I like it a lot with the Romero zombie movies, which I think when the zombie craze happened in the 2000s, I think they forgot a lot about what is cool with zombies.
Yeah, I agree.
You opened that beer.
No, I just pulled off the opening part.
Oh, you pulled off the pop tab.
Because I'm
fidgeting.
manic. Because I'm manic like that.
You bastard! How could you?
Yeah, but so like I am a fan of the remake of Dawn of the Dead, but it does lack a little bit of, you know, it tries to put in some of it, you know, some of the cool zombie stuff, like it has celebrity zombies, something like that.
Yeah, like the Jay Leno zombie or the Rosie O'Donnell zombie. I remember.
Yeah,
I hate that movie.
I think they shoot Burt Reynolds as
Oh
well.
yeah, they do. I hate that movie so much. It's one of those movies where every character is just 100% unlikable.
Yeah,
I think the movie would benefit if those characters were more relatable. If they were just like people like you and I, or somebody that like you could cheer on in a film, I think that movie would have hit big with not only just like the mainstream audiences, but the horror audiences too. But every single character sucks.
I think
I agree with that. I would say fan just because of the action in it, rather than, you know, actually any character or something like that. So it's not technically a good movie, but I kind of enjoy it still.
It does some things right, though. I agree.
The only character I like, and you don't even get to spend any time with them, is the gun shop owner.
Yeah, I really like that, and it's a shame he was only used. He was only used for like trailers, and like he had a diary that you could watch on the internet before the movie arrived.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was really cool. Like, why it should have been from his perspective.
This is my favorite zombie. Okay, now how did that severed hand just start sliding through the fucking railing? I guess maybe the big fatty zombie was kicking it.
Because it's the thing from the Addams family, obviously.
Uncle Fester Zombie just was playing just soccer with it.
Just belly flopped from the second floor.
All it's missing is the light bulb in his mouth. He kind of looks like an overweight Tom Tolles as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it really is Uncle Fester.
What happened to that guy's face?
It's like he got bashed in.
Like with a doorknob. $10 points.
Yeah, that old Chevy didn't take a lick of damage.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
You know those old American cars, they'll run forever.
That's a great scene. That's the first great scene with Tony Todd. He gets out of the car, and then it looks like he's got a hook in his hand, but it's actually a crowbar. Very very telling,
That's
huh?
cool. That's really cool. I never even connected that.
Oh shit! I forgot that it was Tony Todd in this movie.
Did that ruin it all for you?
No.
Okay.
Don't worry. I forgot.
I'm like, oh shit, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah, dudes, I'm out.
That's what happens to me when I'm watching a movie and it says directed by Zack Snyder, and I'm like, fuck. And I just shut it off.
Well, you can make a Zack Snyder movie a lot better if you turn it up to like 2 times. No, well that's the best thing to do. But if you turn it up to like 2 times the normal speed, then it plays at regular speed.
You sound like Louis Tully, like explaining to Dana and Barrett in the hallway scene of Ghostbusters. I climbed on the fire escape. I turned my TV up loud so the manager thought something was wrong.
That was a nice detail. With there was food in the pan still.
I was still cooking. She came in and turned off the gas on the stove.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Dude, this big fat zombie is terrifying.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, who wears overalls? I mean, come on.
I have played too much Left 4 Dead, so I'm just waiting for him to explode.
It's a boomer.
Yeah.
I like it. Tony Todd is just such a great actor.
What's really great about him in this film, it's the most animated you see him in almost any movie he's ever done.
Yeah.
He has so much enthusiasm and so much passion. It's really great.
Yeah, I know people really like Candyman. I've never been a real fan of it, but I've always been a fan of Tony Todd as an actor. It doesn't really matter.
I grew a lot of respect for him over the years. I mean, I've enjoyed everything that he's been in for the most part. But once I listened to him on a podcast and hearing what he really does to get into character, like the guy is astounding. Like what the channels that he goes to try to find his character are just like most actors phone it in. They don't really take that much effort and put it into the role.
Yeah, that's why I really like his character in Hatchet, because it's so fucking on point. I think that one just encapsulates who he is as an actor.
Well, that's something that where I heard his process from, because Adam Green brought him in for the role, and he spent like 40 minutes walking around touching things and picking things up and, you know, like saying different dialogue lines. And Adam Green's like, did I hire a crazy person? Like, what is he doing? and like, you know, for like 40 minutes, he's going around the set, like just, I don't know, like becoming one with it in a way. And he's like, okay, we're ready, you know, like, and then he nails it. And Adam Green's like, you know, in that moment, I knew why he was doing those things. It made more sense. He found the character.
Yeah, but that's what's so good with him, because when you see him in a scene like in Hatchet or something like that, he does randomly pick up stuff. He does randomly talk to stuff or about stuff.
Yeah, it's like he familiarizes himself with the place entirely. Yeah. And I just don't see many actors of today really going through that level of, like, you know, hardship or process. You know, I think it's a lost art.
Yeah, because a lot of people that are acting, you know, they are assuming the director will tell you to pick up an item, I guess. But for Tony Todd, it seems like he walks around the set, he says his lines, you know, he's acting, then he picks up a thing, and, you know, he looks at it while he's talking out his line. It gives such a living feel to the entire scene he's in.
Absolutely. And it's subtle. It's so subtle to make his role more believable.
Yeah.
He just has this natural feel about the places that he's in. So, you know, like, even though he just showed up at this place, he's already commanding, you know, this house.
Yeah, but just look at every scene in Final Destination he's in.
Yes.
Like, all scenes he's in is very tense. Like, he knows exactly how he's gonna, you know, deliver the lines.
Mm.
Ooh.
Hopefully he's not talking about us. God damn, you podcasters ruin everything.
He's like really all torn up about this already.
I mean, he has killed a person.
I mean, you put yourself in that role. You don't know what's going on, and you're forced to do that. I don't know.
What I want to know is how all the eventually.
How
like,
the fuck is that dude's hip working? The zombie, his hip is twisted. He's facing here, right? But his hip is twisted.
That's the one he hit with the truck, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's really nice. Is that the case? Holy shit.
Thanks, Tom Savini. Attention to detail.
Like it
Yeah,
seems like
that's-
obviously that this house is like just out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and yet every zombie ever like gravitates towards it.
Yeah, but you see, he has a deer on the wall, so this house is clearly, designated as the house of death.
Evil Dead 2 ruined deer.
Yeah, I was about to say it's the Evil Dead 2 cabin.
Like, seriously, every time I see a deer on the wall, I'm just waiting for it to, like, go all crazy and talking and Lord knows what.
Yeah, I don't have any animal trophies in my house, even though if I hunt just because of Evil Dead, it's not gonna happen. Like,
Don't blame you.
if I wake up from a nightmare in the middle of the night and I see a fucking deer head, I would fucking run out naked. It's
He's like a fucking like a pastor here, giving her a sermon. You gotta fight everything, fight what you're feeling.
Well, I mean, Dwayne Jones in the original one kind of had that sort of vibe, too. He was a little more frantic in terms of, like, bitch, get your act together. But the same sort of message was conveyed, and the original Barbara just chose to stay catatonic. This one actually gears up and does something about the situation, which is awesome.
also I gotta admit, I really that they didn't change it so that there was still a black person as the hero role, so to speak.
Agreed.
I would say that if they had gone away from that, it would have like destroyed a lot of why Night of the Living Dead is so important.
And you know what's funny about that? Like, right up to the moment George passed away, like, he swore up and down that the kind of, like, racism commentary was accidental. Like, he never intended any of that stuff in the original, and it just played out that way over the years, which is pretty interesting that he would just stumble into that, and it'd be so important today.
Yeah, I think a lot of it might have been just subconscious writing, basically.
Right. Good point.
It doesn't have to be that on the surface, but maybe he thought of it subconsciously and he wrote it in, and he didn't think that he wrote it in, and it's because it's clearly there, but I understand that he thinks it he didn't write it that way.
Right. I love the fact that he's humble about it too. Like, most filmmakers of today, like, would just play along with it, like, "Oh yeah, no, I totally meant that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, racism and stuff. Sure, yeah, that. Whatever floats your boat."
Yeah, I mean, there's no blame in saying that you didn't think of it. I don't think. I think that's really good.
I love how important it is, though. Like, these films have commentary that lasts today, and like, you go shopping on 3-4 days before Christmas at a mall, and you don't tell me you like can't. Your brain doesn't automatically go to Dawn of the Dead looking at these zombies buying Christmas gifts. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just the times just didn't change. They just got worse, if anything.
Yeah, they did. I like that kind of thing. I like that George was so humble, mostly about his political messages. I mean, they were clearly there, and for the racial messages, I think that he just didn't think about it when he wrote it, but it's there still.
Definitely.
It's really great, and that's why I think it's such a shame that the other part of the movie industry look down on horror so much, because there is so much social commentary in horror movies. It's unbelievable. Uh,
Oh, I completely agree with you. And I mean, there is plenty of schlock in the genre. But I mean, you could go watch a romantic comedy genre and find, a lot of deep rooted messages. And then you can watch movies that just, that are made to appease the, stereotypical woman on a Friday night who, wants to go watch something cheesy like that. You could, you could make those connections no matter what genre you're in. But horror genre just kind of gets, like cast aside. Like oh, that's just foolish bullshit. You go through a phase when you're a kid and that's it. There's nothing good out of it.
Yeah,
and then movies like Get Out come out and you're just like, wait, what? What are you even saying?
I mean, there's so many horror movies that are containing messages that you might not think about really, but they are there if you look at it. Like, I saw this YouTuber Ryan Hollinger talk about The Woman in Black, for example, and how how that movie handles grief, and it's there. It's really good writing if you think about it. Like, and people just dismiss it as another horror movie, and that is really sad. Like,
I agree, and I think part of the problem is the people that grew up on horror that are getting into the industry and they're just trying to replicate the movies that came before without understanding, that those movies that came before may be kind of a parallel gateway to, a rape survivor trying to tell their story, or somebody who's been dealing with racism trying to tell their story, and critics and such, they don't look past any of that. They just see slashing and teenagers and this and that, and it's such a shame. There's no way to even put it other than saying it's a shame that people don't look further into these movies.
It was daytime in this movie like 5 minutes ago. Now it's like pitch black. What the fuck happened?
Suspension of disbelief.
I guess so.
Something interrupted
the whole
filming.
rotation around the sun, something.
An old-time gas station. Great.
I love them. He also emulates Dwayne Jones's voice a little bit too.
Well, and his demeanor and the way he walks, the way he presents himself, all very much a very classy homage.
Yeah, very respectful, and he's himself. Like, you don't really see him just trying to rip off the character. He adds his own elements.
Yeah, because they're dead animals on the walls. Like,
that explains that.
There's gotta be guns in the house.
Well, no, he found bullets.
Oh,
Well,
right.
right,
Oh,
right.
yeah, right. Yeah, all right. So the dead animals wasn't clue enough.
Like, it shouldn't be a big surprise that he found bullets. They're out in the middle of the country, dead animals. They decorate the walls.
and then it's like he finds a bullet, and it's like, yeah, now it's gonna be a rifle. Oh yeah.
In the original Night of the Living Dead, the scenes always creeped me the fuck out. Obviously, it's more scary here. But the reveal of that zombie up at the top of the stairs is always like chills.
This is straight out
brutal,
of this is straight out of Resident Evil.
I was gonna say that too.
Absolutely.
A bloody corpse that looked like he went down fighting, grasping a weapon. It's straight. Like, it reminds me of when you find like the grenade launcher in the first Resident Evil on Forest Body. He got pecked to death by all the crows.
Yeah, it's really like, so you can see where Resident Evil got its inspiration from as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing that like always bugs me. That's like you can watch horror movies and a lot of things don't affect you. But whenever like somebody enters a room or something and they see somebody that just couldn't make it further and they killed themselves, that it always like leaves a weird feeling.
So-
I like that he found a Winchester rifle. I love those.
It's like, yeah, there's no chance. I can't do anything about it. Just gonna eat a bullet.
Yeah, but like I kind of try to humanize this situation and like really put myself in the situation, situation that they were in.
I can clearly understand why someone would blow their head off. Like in a situation like let's say 28 days later, why the characters don't blow their head off in by the end of the movie is like, I would totally understand if the movie would end like that.
I was watching this last night, and I'm looking at Harry last night, and I'm like, he reminds me of somebody. Who does he remind me of? Now, I still like barely see Tom Tardulv in him.
He's really young in this. Like I didn't realize he was that young.
But you know who he looks like? You know who he reminds me of? You ever seen the Police Academy movies?
Yes.
All right. He reminds me of Art Matrano. He played like the captain in all those movies.
Okay. I'd have to look him up because it's been a while.
Mauser. That was his name. Mauser in the Police Academy movies.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, I got you.
But his real name is Art Matrano, and
yeah,
but
very similar.
He plays a great heavy though, man. I'll tell you.
We have heard all of this before. When?
I love that Tom is wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers hat. That's a nice little touch.
I kind of like how the old man is trying to play it out. Like, he's trying to rationalize it. Trying to play it off like we all know this kind of shit, you know?
But yeah, no, Tom is playing. He's playing an amazing heavy, just like the definition of an asshole douchebag.
Yeah, absolutely. He. I don't know if he's quite as good as the original Cooper, but he's got this like tri-state area douchebag to him. Yeah, it's very recognizable.
Yeah, he's. I think the character. Do you know the character in Bird Box, the old man?
I knew somebody was gonna go there and bring up that character, who I actually kind of like.
Yeah, I was gonna say that character has to be based on Cooper.
But you know what? That character was actually smart. Everything that he said was honestly true. What Cooper's doing, Cooper's just an asshole for the sake of being an asshole.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I agree totally. But what I meant was, as of a writer's standpoint, that's what I think they were trying to do. They were trying to have a Cooper in the movie. But then the character makes sense. In a way, it's
he's basically the doomsayer.
He's like a more rational one.
Yeah, he is. He's the doomsayer, but he's also the asshole. But he happens to be telling the truth on literally everything, and then people don't listen to him. And guess what happens? He's the one who dies. Well, pretty much everyone else dies too because they don't listen to him. But I wrote about that trope in my review. So
yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, I haven't read it.
Good friend you are.
Don't feel bad. It's okay. I haven't watched his latest possum review video, so.
Wait, you have a YouTube channel? You know what I really want now, and we're never gonna get it because George isn't with us. I want like a prequel comic for all of these people leading into this moment, like I want to see individual character arcs of where these people were, who these people were, what their lives were like, and then have it all go to shit with this event, and then lead up to this moment in the comic. I would totally live for something like that, because like you get bits and pieces of everybody. They tell a little bit about themselves and their personalities shine through and how they act, but you don't understand why Cooper's the big douchebag that he is.
Yeah, by the way, I got a better one than I think the better comparison is like The Mist, since it's when it comes to character arcs. The Mist is very, very like this. You have
The Mist is a little bit on point or on the nose with their character archetypes.
Yeah, in the book they aren't that on the nose as the movie is. But
yeah, definitely.
But there's still you still had the Cooper, you know, which I would say is the preaching lady in some sense.
She was crazy, like very effective.
Yeah. So yeah, as Bates stated, yeah, that's definitely a trope in some sense after Night of the Living Dead.
It's crazy what like George accomplished with that little low budget movie.
Yeah,
it is massive, and he had to go and die to get the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, let alone recognition of any form.
Yeah, I never understood that.
No.
I like the dynamic between Ben and Cooper. I feel like fucking Tony Todd really wanted to punch Tom this entire movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the like strongest in each of the movies. You know, their dynamic has been crazy.
Oh my god, my Twitter is a mess. Oh, whatever.
Your Twitter's a mess because you make it a mess, all right?
Yeah, but I went down the Laura Loomer vortex today.
Yeah, I know you did, you fucking pot stirrer, you.
Not to get into too much, but I'm gonna say every time I randomly go on your Twitter, I just see you fighting some sort of war. I just like, oh, who's he battling today?
Remember, Ray? You remember what I used to call Richie?
Maybe.
I used to call. What?
No, I was gonna say, is it okay to say on the podcast?
Yeah, no. Remember, I used to call him a certain utensil.
Certain utensil.
Remember, I used to call him the giant spoon because he used to always fucking stir the fucking pot.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's what Stepan is. He's a fucking pot stirrer. He's a giant spoon.
Absolutely. See, I don't use Twitter a lot. Like when I'm really bored, I'll bring it up because I have not a lot of free time at work like I used to. So I'll just randomly go on it, and I'm like, all right, what's going on? This. Oh, he's getting in a fight with this person today. That's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Because I'll go on your profile and just see where it all started, and then read through like 100 tweets after it.
I'm not even sorry. It's
hey, as you shouldn't be. It's good entertainment.
It's amazing. How did these two remain married all this time? He just seems like even if there wasn't a zombie apocalypse, he just seems like a massive thunder cunt.
Yeah,
totally. But he's the type that apologizes later on that night, and that's why she stays with him. Plus the kid they have together.
Yeah, it's the I think this pictures an old timey marriage pretty good. Like you don't divorce, you just as long as he apologizes, he's not that bad. It's kind of abusive in a way. And I think there is a lot of old marriages or people have a lot of parents that do this. It's sad,
especially from that era. I mean, you think of it from George's perspective. This is what in the 60s. That type of thing was just like okay, I'm gonna bitch and moan because I hate my job and I'm gonna be yelling and abusive and this and that, and you're just gonna sit there, cook me dinner, and that's how your life's gonna go. And even that he was commentating on, which is insane.
Man, I love what Tom was using to nail.
That's a cheap table, man.
Yeah, right. What
It didn't even have screws.
No, not at all.
Tommy was using a fucking like Thor's meat tenderizer to hammer in those nails. Do you see the size of that meat tenderizer? That thing was huge.
Yeah, it was basically.
It was fucking Mjolnir, man.
Yeah, the owner of this house. The owner of this house went out with that meat with clapboards with it. It was like.
Seriously, fuck the gun. Give me Thor's meat tenderizer. I'll take on every zombie out there.
Oh no! Why? Oh, God. Yeah. All right. Okay, stop looking at that window. It's a mess.
Hey, here's where Barb becomes useful. You know what's funny? I called her Barb earlier because she kind of looks like Barb from Stranger Things.
She does.
And then it dawned on me after the fact that like her name in the movie is Barb. So you guys probably didn't get the joke initially.
Yeah, no, I see it too. You know what? It's the short hair. It's her short hairstyle.
Yeah.
Look at how excited he was over that idea.
Dude, you are not lying. He is pumped for this role.
He is so. I've seen Tony Todd in maybe 24 movies, and he's never been like so enthusiastic. It is just a joy to watch.
Yeah, but like imagine you're an actor and you get to reprise a role of the Night of the Living Dead.
Look at the size of that fucking meat tenderizer. I'm going to talk about this thing all night.
That is not a meat tenderizer. That's a hunter weapon.
Somebody's going to have some real good pork chops tonight.
With that thing, you go out in the woods, you look the deer in the eye, and you say, "It's your time to fucking die," and then you just smack it.
I think I've seen dwarves in fucking Lord of the Rings go into battle with fucking hammers that size.
Yeah, it looks like one of the dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy. Like they just have a two-handed meat tenderizer.
That's really what it is. It is a straight up warhammer.
That's the one thing I really like about this movie. The zombies breaking through the window are a lot more terrifying than the original. That's some like Resident Evil Outbreak level shit.
Oh, also, I want to say that I really like the practical the characters actually are. That they take off the doors that are actually thick wood and nails them to the windows, like how they use actual items in the house like this.
Well,
I've always loved that about any zombie movie, and I bring up Resident Evil Outbreak, because they added that aspect to the game. And I always thought the whole survival thing is what really, really makes this type of movie scary. Just that use whatever you got, because this situation's just terrible and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, it's fucked basically. I mean, I really like that. Like a lot of horror movies, you don't see people nail fucking doors to the windows, but in some zombie movies, you actually see it, and that's great to see.
I'd much rather see this than these guys wielding guns and mowing down every zombie. That's what drives me nuts. I'm not going to get too much into Walking Dead, but like by season 3, you'd have two of the main characters just plowing down rows of zombies, like almost what's that one movie called? World War Z. Like fuck that.
Yeah, in season 1 of Walking Dead, they did kind of nail it, because but season 2 was just fuck that season, and
I like that.
And I think I saw until season 4 because I wanted to give it a chance, but it never really. I want more of this, like this that we're seeing right now, like more like that zombies are an actual danger.
I completely agree. And you look at it like from a perspective, even with the knowledge of a zombie movie.
Look at that scene that is right here. He checks the door and he's like, "No, that's too thin."
Yeah.
You know, there's a particular scene in this movie, and it's one of my favorite scenes in any zombie movie ever. Because when you watch a lot of these zombie movies that use, you know, Romero type zombies, you know, your slow lumbering zombies, you think about it and it's like, well, why don't people just fucking, you know, come together and just fight these things? They're not all that intimidating, and you rarely see that in any of these zombie movies. But there's one particular scene in here that it just feels super realistic. I'll point it out when we get to it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
was gonna mention the fact that, like, even with our knowledge of zombies and how to kill them and all the movies we've seen and learned from, I think we would still be in this sort of situation if zombie outbreak actually happened.
Yeah,
you know, exactly how the reality would be.
You know our luck. We would be faced with some, like, Return of the Living Dead zombies who just fucking won't die.
But even the slow lumbering ones, I really think that we would still be reacting defensively, not offensively. I don't think we're going to look up and arm ourselves to the teeth and just go zombie slaying.
Oh, you are fucking sorely mistaken. I've already planned this shit out, man.
So have I. I've read the zombie survival guide, my friend. I know everything.
I don't need a survival guide to know. You know where I'm going? I'm going, before this outbreak gets real big, I'm going to a sporting goods store. I'm getting every pair of shin guards I could find, and I'm getting a couple pairs of shoulder pads, because if you're getting bit on your legs and ankles, or you're getting bit on your shoulders. And then I'm wrapping shin guards on every long piece of my body, on my legs, on my forearms. You're not biting through a shin guard, and I'm wearing shoulder pads, Mad Max style. I'll put some spikes on them and shit. Dude, you got those. No, I know that.
You are going to be holed up with your wife, making sure nothing gets to her. You guys are going to be zombie slaying with shin pads and stuff.
Oh, she's Vietnamese. They're like required to go through like army training in that country. She can survive on her own. She don't need me.
You could have abandoned her right off the bat. I respect you.
You know what? All my friends' plans are going to me, because I got guns since I'm hunting. I got like a lot of machetes and stuff like that. And the reason I let them go here is because they have chainmail. So basically, we're gonna build a thing together. It's like, you give me chainmail and I give you a machete. Good deal.
Yeah.
Fair trade. I learned from Zombieland, fatties go first, so I am staying in my house. I am not getting out of here. That's it. I'm going to be nailing the doors to the walls and the window.
You should see the one machete Stefan have. It's really cool. It looks like that super curved machete you see on the cover, like one of the old school covers of Friday the 13th New Beginning. The one of those machetes that like the end of it is like super curved.
Yeah, I really like it. It's really nice. I got it from a friend that he was girlfriend, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna keep this," and I was like, "Yeah, I take it." It's not, no questions asked. It's really nice, actually. It's gonna feature in an intro video I'm making for my channel. So,
cool, man. Let me know. You know, we follow each other. Let me know. I'll definitely check. You know, actually, what I got to do is go to your channel and hit.
It's like I like it's. I'm gonna use it in combo with my Jason mask that I have custom because I broke it. So I have it sewed together with leather rope.
Nice,
so
nice.
it looks like it's scarred.
Judy Rose like, yeah, if we didn't let you in here. Ben is like, bitch, you didn't let me in here. I'm fucking broken.
You, my good friend, have been belled. I hit the notification bell so I get updated.
He just rang your bell.
I just have a question about this movie. This movie is still supposed to be set in the 60s, right?
I don't know if that's established or not.
No,
because I was thinking about the clothing. Because if it was the 90s, I don't see any Backstreet Boys.
No, this is way too early.
90s.
Yeah, man, this is way too early.
There you go. Look at the.
Oh wait! I just saw it.
Yeah.
Wait, no, don't worry.
You got a little bit of Kurt Cobain thing going on there.
Yeah.
Minus the missing.
Oh, hello. Let's just change pants.
You can't be a badass in a skirt, despite what anime might say.
True.
Or lollipop chainsaw.
Or any fighting game out there. It's like, yeah, Sakura and Chun-Li are kicking ass with barely no clothes on. It doesn't work that way.
I saw this big debate, not even a debate, but this big conversation about Simon Belmont's outfit choices to battle, like, the undead and everything.
What,
he's like wearing a loincloth.
Yeah, his extended leather loincloth.
Basically, I like Simon Belmont, but he didn't exactly have the best protective gear.
Okay, well, neither did Conan. You gonna go fuck with Conan?
No, sir.
Conan, I just gotta say, still has the best line of any movie, and it's I am thief. I think that is just the pinnacle of writing. But who are you? Who are you? I am thief.
You need that on a t-shirt or something.
Yeah. I was like, who wrote this and why?
Oh my god, that one zombie in the background looked like a Billy D. Williams zombie.
The one in the foreground kind of looked like an older Bill Nye.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Bill Nye, the zombie guy.
Oh my god.
He's trying to get in.
No, don't get in. No science in this house. No science in this house.
Only creationism.
We're a house of God, not heathenism.
Oh my god, you suck at boarding up the house.
I love how just like overly lumbering the Bill Nye zombie is.
Yeah. Did this movie get sponsored by Winchester or something?
Maybe. Hey, that's how they got their budget.
I mean, even the shotgun was a Winchester. It has that metal plating style. Yeah, that one she holds.
We're so worthless.
You know, I tend to believe that if they just shot Cooper now, they probably all could have survived.
Well, that's a very good point.
Why not just, take a door off, throw Cooper out, and just nail it shut?
It's like, yeah. See, I helped. I'm good. All right, fuck you. I'm going downstairs.
Ah, fuck you, dude. That's not how anything works. You can't come in here all pessimistic.
I love their little marriage spat as she starts hurling shit at him, like, fuck you!
Yeah, this reminds me, I had a girlfriend. Oh, it looks like Jordan Peterson. That's totally Jordan Peterson. Jesus Christ.
You shot MacGruber!
She kind of reminds me of like, Archie Bunker's daughter.
I don't think she's that whiny.
She improved a little bit in the zombie apocalypse.
See, I love this part of the movie. This is where Barbara just she goes into full contained craziness.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Oh, there we got the Hare Krishna zombie.
I don't think they get asked to conventions anymore.
She ain't losing it. She's going just badass.
She shot him right in the nipple. But Also, she's holding a shotgun, but is giving a single.
Yeah, no, she goes into like full contained craziness, and I love it. Her character development throughout this film is just wonderful to watch.
It happens really quick, but it's effective. I wonder. I gotta see what other movies she's been in because she's awesome.
She really hasn't done anything.
Really,
and it's a shame because she's just so captivating, man. Especially with her and Tony Todd together. God, it's one of my favorite male-female duos.
I would love to see these guys at a convention. Like, I mean, Tony Todd's at a lot of them, but I've never seen her. Seeing the two of them on a panel at the very least would be really fucking interesting. Get Tom Savini, make it all three, a nice little reunion.
Yeah.
Now I love these throwback, just like lurker shots of the zombies. Love that.
And it's very simplistic looking too. Like they didn't do anything to really spruce it up in the over the years. It's very much what George would have shown.
Yeah, it feels low budget. It feels super low budget. You know, obviously the effects look great because you got Tom Savini behind them. But it feels low budget, but doesn't feel low budget. You know.
That is also how you know it's a Winchester rifle. It has a fucked up way of
He
reload.
is so
He's still on the
thing.
oh, he's still on the fucking guns.
Yeah, because I love them. They're so fucked up. They're so weird because they had the most ludicrous designs, and it's kind of stupid but also mesmerizing at the same time. It's like the pinnacle of America right there. It's
America did some things right. I guess guns are one of them. That's not something I'm proud of, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't get Tardulv on the amendments, man. He will go off.
Yeah,
I don't like your gun laws. I like guns, so it's like.
Well, that's one of the amendments, the right to bear arms. You know how hard it is.
Yeah. No.
I don't think we could edit this live. Just throwing this out there.
Do you know how hard it is to get a gun in New Jersey? It is like the hardest state in the United States to get a gun in.
Which proves very problematic for us people that want to be prepared for the upcoming zombie, invasion.
Like, I don't believe in the Second Amendment, but I like, guns as, guns. Like, the mechanics of guns. I do not believe in the right to bear arms.
Yeah, well, don't ever go down to Texas and say that. You'll be shot on sight.
Yeah. I know. When I go to the USA, I would not talk about it because, no.
Oh, you'll be safe in New Jersey. Nobody in fucking New Jersey has a gun. My father actually had a rifle. I don't know what he did with it, though.
I have a BB gun. That's about it, though.
I mean, I have guns. I do have guns, but they are licensed for hunting. But basically...
Look at this asshole stealing the TV.
Go great in my
in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, he is like...
Put that in his man cave.
He needs to watch fucking... Dude, it's Friday night. In Living Color's coming on. He ain't fucking missing it. Zombie apocalypse or not.
He's like... No. He's like, tomorrow there's a new episode of Days of Our Lives. It just started, So it's...
I think Ricky Lake's on right now.
The Arsenio Hall show's coming on. 1989 is... Arsenio Hall might have still been on.
He's being all shady about it, looking like around the corner.
I had a girlfriend that was studying, and she always watched Days of Our Lives, and she always told me about it. So one day I just said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. This is not good. Oh, you can't do that. Watch good shit, or But you were. You were licking. You were doing
He
that.
totally was taking it downstairs.
Yeah.
Shitty looking motherfucker.
The barber just fucking fuck you guys. I'm gonna go fucking have some fun.
I was just gonna point out the fact that like had this movie got a wider release, like she'd be like Sarah Connor, like, you know, as if it had more popularity.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that she went from wearing a skirt to fucking commando. It's like
and the worst part is it doesn't feel forced at all. It feels natural.
Yeah, it feels natural.
She what I like it's called adapting. She's adapting to the situation. You either adapt or you die. There's no two ways around it. She's like, this motherfucker. Look at her face. This motherfucker.
He's back at it again. You know.
He had that comment.
Look at that, like, look of satisfaction.
Jesus Christ! No, don't have that. No, that's the look cats give when they eat human flesh. It's like they never stop after that.
Where are all these zombies coming from?
That way.
There's like there is another naked zombie.
Yeah, but he had a tag on him. He must come.
Yeah, but it wasn't on his toe.
Who cares?
We could add to my comic idea and give the zombies origin stories too. I'm telling you, I'm selling this to Marvel, and I'm going to be rich after this.
No, you're not.
Like you sit here and you're looking at these zombies. You sit here and you look at these zombies. It's like you could just walk past them.
Oh yeah, until there's like 800 of them standing around your house. The whole church congregation got out.
I have a tabletop role-playing game, like, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, but it's called All Flesh Must Be Eaten, and it's a zombie game. And they have a zombie. They have different zombie stereotypes that you can use. One of them is a Romero zombie. Nice. And one strength they have is their physical strength, which is a danger because they can, you know, rip off limbs and stuff like that. And that is the danger with them. And when they are in masses, there are rules for that because you know their immense strength makes them dangerous even if they are slow.
Sounds fun. I was thinking about a tabletop game earlier because we were talking about the religious. We were joking about religion, and it reminded me of the game that I played called The Last Night on Earth. And I happened to get the preacher character, and combined with the torch card, you know, beware a zombie torch and a preacher, you're fucked. There's no zombies on the board after that.
All right, hold down the fort for a second while I go. Take a little potty break before I get to some of my favorite scenes.
Should we pause it?
No pause. Just keep it going for like 2 minutes. Some of my favorite scenes are coming up.
Hurry up and go.
Yeah, no. So, All Flesh Must Be Eaten is a really good role-playing game.
I don't play a lot of role-playing games, but I've been interested in getting into it. Like I've never. Played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, tabletop wise, I would recommend like Arkham Horrors or Eldritch Horrors, which are both Lovecraftian, both based on Lovecraft. Which is basically in the start of the game, you pick a god that you're gonna fight against, like Cthulhu or any other of the Eldritch Horrors, and then you're gonna have to stop them from awakening, basically.
Nice. Yeah, I dabble in tabletop games, but I don't... Like, I've got a bunch of overly complicated ones with, like, 70 different steps, but, you know, like, I like simple ones. I like ones that you have to dive into a little bit more. But I've been wanting to, like, explore role-playing a little bit just to get a feel of those games I never really grew up.
Yeah. One really good tabletop game that you might want to try out is Betrayal at the house on the hill. It's basically you all begin the game as survivors going into a haunted house, and then you trigger an event, and then there are 2 rule books, which is one of you is a betrayer. So when you trigger a certain event, you go look in the rule books which event it is, and the betrayer gets 1 book for what he's supposed to do, and the survivors get 1 book for what they are supposed to do to win the game.
Nice, very cool.
So, and the house builds out while you walk around it. So you have a stack pile of map times, basically, that you put out as you go through the house. It's really cool, actually. It's really fun, and it's basically making your own. I really like it. So tabletop gaming, I really recommend getting into that.
Yeah, I started to get into it a few years ago. I mean, I've always played board games throughout the years, but watching people play games on YouTube, like not video games, but tabletop games, I'm just like, oh, that's how that game's played? Cool, I'm buying it. You know, like any game that seems interesting to me, I'll watch, buy, and then go from there.
Yeah. We lost Ben. He just rolled up the car. I like that. But we lost Ben.
But look how close that pump is. It's not like it's all that far. He pretty much ran to it on his own.
Sure.
Let's have a lit fire by the gasoline pump.
I always want this scene not to happen.
And why did she turn the car off when they parked? Or did it stall? I don't even know.
I mean, that makes more sense that it stalled. I feel like somebody can make a board game out of this entire movie and it'd be fucking awesome.
There is.
Alright then. I'm so glad to hear it. I might go buy it.
Oh god, sorry, I don't remember the name. But there is a game that basically builds on Night of the Living Dead.
It'd be it'd be really fun. You know, like the being contained in the house and everything, and have to find keys. And
the game is about you are in a house and you have to board it up against the zombies. So the zombies are not a playable character, but a game master plays the zombies. And then you have the other players playing the survivors.
All right,
and
so
you have the...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so you have to board up the house and stuff like that, and trying to make an escape. Basically, that's the entire game.
Sounds fun.
And I don't remember the name. My friend owned the game, but I don't remember the name of it right now because a lot of games are named, you know, of the dead or.
Totally. I mean, if you think of it, let me know. I definitely look into it.
I love, so this is one of my favorite scenes, what I was talking about before, about the more realism. Like, obviously these zombies are not that imposing, and Ben is just beating the shit out of a mass of them on his own.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that very often in
that zombie was a cop. I can tell that by the mustache.
You know, I like imperfect characters. I like ones with flaws. I like ones that shoot at zombies and miss. You know, that makes a better zombie movie than the ones that, you know.
She let that happen. The bite, like she.
Look at Ben playing with all the zombies just rolling down the hill. It's so adorable.
Look at he's just bulldozing all of them.
I mean, this is a really great scene.
God, somebody needs to just kill Cooper.
Yeah, just turn around the gun and shoot him in the face.
Or better yet, just like pull away from the window and let the arms get him.
Yeah, that's... I mean, in that way you cannot be convicted.
I mean, that would humble a person real fucking fast. You let the zombies grab him on the window, he'll learn a lesson real quick.
Fire the gun!
That will also teach him a lesson.
Look how like weak that power cable was. Like the zombie just barely brushed up against it, and the entire thing fell off.
It's an old country house. They didn't have, standards back then.
I guess not.
Yeah. Like his fight, I hate this guy so much.
There we go. Look at him. Look at that look in his eyes, man. He knows he's dead.
He's sometimes some of the faces that Cooper makes, it reminds me of the old guy from the last story in Creepshow.
You know what? Yeah, thank you for giving me the gun. Let me
just waste every bullet I have.
Yeah.
Right?
So what are you gonna do?
Being out. I love the shadowing in this.
Right now, the gun is just, a fancy bat.
Alright. Metal baseball bat.
Yeah. Oh god, that reloading system, Jesus. I'm sorry, but
He is a cop. You were right.
Yeah, he was a cop.
Ben was like, "This is for Rodney King, man."
You had to go there.
Oh, it's the early '90s. It's relevant.
I know. I gotcha.
Yeah, you're.
I like how the zombie daughter looked at her father and was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna eat you, the asshole. I'm gonna go for the other people."
Gotta say, Kira Shawn was a lot better. I don't like this one.
Oh no, she's awful. I don't like the look.
The shuffle is the problem. She's kind of she's seizuring over to Ben. She's like doing the stiff thriller walk.
I mean, I still want to point out that that's a shotgun, so it would hit his daughter.
No, that's a rifle.
Is it?
Yeah, the shotgun got blown up when.
Oh right, okay, right. I thought, yeah. See, the design of that rifle is fucked up. That's why I think it's a shotgun.
Got the old Wild West going on in here.
Yeah.
Here comes the local waitress.
Madness, she says, and hello, I'm Tony Todd. I'm dying. Help me, please. Yeah, you're dying. You got shot in the liver, motherfucker.
Did they only they just now notice that there was an attic?
I mean, in this situation where the dead are walking and alive, you don't go around looking for every nook and cranny in the house.
All right. Well, have you been outside?
It looks like it got a little cold in there.
Have you been outside lately? Oh yeah, no. She's got some beautiful tits, man.
A little chilly, is it?
He's still dying. You can't help him. What about his wounds? Don't go! No, that's a stupid hero move. Fuck. Oh my god.
It's like Cooper's brother over there.
I like his face of dread.
Can I stab Cooper? I mean, I have a bayonet. I'm gonna stab Cooper with it.
Good to know.
So one of my just all-time favorite scenes, and I don't know why particularly, is coming up. I love it so much. It basically encapsulates just everyone's frustration with just everyday life. I think I just love it. It's just such a personification of that. Ben's like, oh, fuck.
He's shot in the shoulder, right?
That's like, all right, fine, I'll go in the basement. Fuck you guys.
I kind of like that. It's just no, don't disturb me.
Hey, somebody's being smart with bullets.
She's not even running. She's just, she's just showing that you can literally walk past them.
Yeah, I like that.
Right, she's full Sarah Connor mode. It's like, oh, it's not cold anymore, by the way.
Damn it.
Oh, it will be in a second. Trust me, it's gonna get cold in a second.
Why have you that written down? Why why did you have the time?
He watched this last night. A little bit more.
All right, so this is one of my favorite scenes right here. It just shows just like how just like fucked and just fed up she is with everything.
Yeah, I'm done.
And then her reaction after she shoots the zombie. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's cold again.
Just that oh god reaction. One of my favorite scenes ever.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And see how you're just pouring into the house, like, holy shit.
Listen, they're mad. There was a party going on in there, and they weren't invited, so they're fucking crashing it.
That sounds like something do like 10 years ago. Like, where's the party in here?
Yeah, it's like some bad 90s movie.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and it's funny because it's like you watch
Where's
all those.
the keg? Where's the keg?
Like you watch all those movies and you're thinking to yourself, it's like, yeah, this never happened in real life. I actually went to a party where that like actually happened. Like people came and crashed the party, and then the cops ended up coming. Like,
oh, yeah, dude, I have my run-ins with the cops.
I'm sure you have.
I've had those parties too. I've never had like the entire high school crash a party, but I did have those moments where the parent came home and then spent the evening drinking all of her alcohol.
My favorite offense I think that I have done is basically when there was a law passed that it was illegal to piss outside, like, you know, on public places. Basically, what I did was piss on the wall, and I just saw on the wall. I just saw blue lights. Like I was like, oh. And they were like, and the cops came out and were like, "Yeah, we're gonna let you finish, but you know what this is, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know." But they didn't write me a fine, but I got driven home.
I like how that one zombie found the hand, and he's like, "Yeah, no, this hand's not good enough to eat." He's just like slapping.
Oh right, yeah, I have a movie prop hand that my modeling friend changed bone to stabilize it. It's really cool. So you got the bone pipes of it sticking out, which is moose, but the hand is actual, you know, it's his hand, silicone.
Nice.
And it's bloody. I like it. Yeah, so I got caught pissing outside and got driven home to my parents, drunk as fuck, and my dad was like, "Well, I've been to prison, so I'm not gonna say a lot."
Yeah, I got very close. Like, you know me very well, Bates. So, picture me having to hop fences and run through like people's yards to evade cops.
Yeah, I can't see you ever hopping a fence.
Yeah, I learned real fucking fast, my friends. Real fast. I had to have gone like 6 blocks of like running through people's yards and jumping over fences.
Like you're barely a good like bulldozer cow catcher anymore when I'm trying to plow through people at a convention and I'm making you lead.
Oh, I mean, I could do that, but I'm just saying, like, in high school, I had to run for my fair share of cops. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, like as a skateboarding punk rocker, I had my fair run into the cops. It's never been really that bad, but I run from them and stuff like that. But very important here, right? It's not American cops, so it's.
Well, back when I was growing up, they weren't quite the way they are now. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's getting real nippy out there. Real nipply.
Well, they are shooting in Pennsylvania, I think. So.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah, they definitely had to have shot that in Pennsylvania.
I don't know. I'm Swedish, so I don't know, but it looks like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it looks like it could be Dutch country.
Yeah.
Oh, she found that creepy lady from the Beyond.
Bye.
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 Oh god, they just collecting dead bodies.
Look, it's super young Christopher Lloyd.
Holy shit!
I don't know who's scarier, the
Oh my god, this is like watching X-Files. You know, because when you're watching X-Files, you see a very young version of an actor, and you're like, holy shit! And they're all famous today. So X-Files is basically Days of Our Lives of horror movies. It's like, the Days of Our Lives did produce Jensen Ackles for Supernatural, so like
it actually happened to me when I watched The Wire. Like, I watched The Wire, and then like shortly after, every cast member of The Wire was on every show that I watched. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was so funny when my ex watched Days of Our Lives, and she came to an episode where Jensen Ackles was in it, and she was like, "Isn't that Dean from Supernatural?" And I said, "Yeah, that's Dean from Supernatural."
Like,
That is definitely.
Go on, sorry.
No. Continue.
I was just gonna say I was watching like early Walking Dead seasons, and there'd be like 6 cast members of The Wire going through it, and I'm just like, oh my god! Like, I just finished watching this. I love the addition of this scene and showing what humans are like. This is really cool.
I like the punk rocker zombie.
It's basically showing just the collapse of humanity while the collapse of humanity is going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice little throwback to Dawn of the Dead with the eye patch person.
Yeah, I still like the punk rocker zombie though. I feel like him. Like I want everyone in a cage that I can spot.
They got like a hot sausage. They got a
pig roast. Yeah, man.
Oh my god!
Right there. It's terrifying.
Oh no! God, what is it with America and lynching people?
I don't know, man. It's horrific.
That's your first go-to? Like, it's like, all right, humanity is falling apart. Let's lynch people. Like,
listen, man, don't underestimate rednecks.
I know. I mean, it's just, I hate to say it. Like, I know some very good-hearted rednecks and stuff, but this is what it's gonna look like. This is terrifyingly accurate.
This is America, right?
Sadly,
like
a little closer to the truth than I would want to admit.
It's a little bit uncomfortable.
Don't worry, we're not gonna like.
It would. I don't think it would be like.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think it would be like that here in New Jersey.
No, but imagine the South. It's like 2 seconds into the apocalypse, let's lynch people.
See, people in the North pretend the South doesn't exist. You know, unless we're going to like Disneyland or something.
Yeah, the moment a zombie apocalypse happens, the entire South just becomes Deliverance.
Don't tell me you're traveling all the way to America to see New Jersey.
Well, you come to New Jersey, you come to at least this area of New Jersey.
I have been to. and that was a thing.
Where'd you go?
To Florida, Orlando.
Oh God, you met Florida man.
Yeah, like we tried to rent a hotel. I was a lot younger than now. I think I was about 12. But we tried to rent a hotel, but we had to settle for a gated apartment tourist compound, something like that. I don't know what they called it.
It sounds like an upgrade, but go on.
Yeah, but the problem was that it wasn't like a gated community, right? So so when we were gonna go out, so we were gonna go to Disneyland. So we had to rent a car, and that car had a tracker, and we had, and there were armed guards at the gates. To let us out.
So satisfying.
I agree.
Yeah, it is. That is really satisfying.
Redneck on the right kind of reminds me of Hugh Laurie for some reason.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dr. House became a redneck.
Yeah, no, so it wasn't like a gated community. So when we went out on that ride, they had, like, sure, it was secure because you felt secure because they knew what car you were driving and stuff like that. But it was very weird to live in a place with armed guards, and I don't know. It was just...
I know the feeling. Like after 9/11 happened, there was like a lot of situations where you would go into places where normal life like became normal life, but with some guard at the end of the hallway with a machine gun, and you're just like, what the fuck? What world are we living in?
Yeah, it was very weird. That is all I can say. I can't say it wasn't unpleasant. We weren't treated bad or anything like that. It was just weird.
Yeah, it wasn't normal.
Yeah, and I mean, Disney World was amazing. So like, I don't know.
I think it's messed up.
Sea World was good too. But I mean, it was just so weird because we had to go through these checkpoints when we were going, back to our apartment.
Tao is here. She came to visit me.
Nice. Hello, Tao.
She brought our son.
Nice.
Ray says hi. So does my friend Stefan.
Like last time I was over at your house, I only heard her voice. I didn't see her. I just heard the noise of her, like from somewhere. She was coming. Her voice was coming from somewhere. I didn't know where.
Maybe she's a paranormal entity.
Right? Like I was politely responding.
Like, dude, this ending music is so good.
I do like it. It's funky. I love that this movie ended with very similar shots, like almost like Polaroid captures of like the rednecks and their kills, and
look another. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tom Savini, you're good. You.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So after rewatching, I gotta say that this interpretation is really fucking good. Like,
it's fantastic.
Revisit this. No, we should watch next month. Night of the Living Dead 3D, huh, guys?
Yeah, guys? No. Even Sid Haig can't fucking save that shit.
So I guess you guys don't want to watch Night of the Living Dead Reanimated the month after, right?
No.
Okay, fine.
How about Day of the Dead Contagion?
Oh no! Can we? Oh my God! Good idea. Can we watch the Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
No, we don't even speak of that movie. That movie does not exist.
Oh come on! I can't watch. Oh God! I can't watch it alone.
I can't watch it alone. He says.
I need someone to bash it with. I can't watch it alone. I can't even write about it. Like I tried to write a essay about it. Like now I opted for an essay about Murder Party, but I was going to write an essay about it. I can't do it because I can't watch it. It's like I don't want to watch it alone. It scares me.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, only because there are a few things in that movie that I really like, and there is a whole lot that I don't. So I think it might be an interesting conversation at the very least. And I mean, if we could watch Halloween Resurrection, we could watch that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least Halloween Resurrection had a rapper. I mean, that's kind of cool.
I don't know if that is to the advantage of Nightmare on Elm Street. But it's like I can't watch it alone because I get crazy. It's
I might schedule this and pencil it in just to see Stefan get crazy.
yeah, I will like because I watch it. First time I watched it was at the cinema, and I just came out numb. Like I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I watched it once again when it released on DVD and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, I still don't. What the fuck am I watching? What is this movie? It's
all right. You're bringing down the commentary right now, talking about this shit.
I'm sitting there like, this is how we end Night of the Living Dead, by talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, but for Night of the Living Dead, I gotta say this movie is really great. And I gotta agree with Bates here. It's one of the best remakes that is out there because it's so faithful to the original, but still its own thing. That it's remarkable, really. I really like it, and I wish that we saw. I'm gonna say the female actor. I don't know her name, but I wish I saw her more in movies because she's really good.
There's Patricia Tallman, I believe.
Yep. And she really did not do anything outside of this movie.
Yeah,
that's really surprising.
Yeah, that's a shame because she's really good in this one. And Tony Todd is also really good, of course, but it's Tony Todd. That's like stating the obvious, but she is really good. And I gotta say that most actors in this movie do a really good job, except for that zombie child.
She was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know about that scene. It's so she's. I think the scene tries to project that there is some intelligence to zombies. Like because she doesn't bite her dad. And she walks past him, so she goes for Tony Todd. But she doesn't really do a good job at all. Like
that was one of the few blemishes on the movie. Like, and it doesn't even make or break the movie. I mean, I know her character was so iconic in the imagery of the original, and just it's a very memorable scene in the original, but I think this movie does so much more that you could kind of forgive the one little misstep that it made.
Yeah, I agree on that. Because it's not a bad. I mean, it's a bad scene, but that's only a C.
Exactly.
So she really didn't do a whole lot that we would have seen. She's done a lot of little crap on TV shows. She apparently had a bigger role in Babylon 5, but I mean I can't think of anybody I know who watched Babylon 5.
I don't.
She apparently was in Army of Darkness. Otherwise, there's almost nothing that we would be familiar with that she was in. Dead Air. I remember I seen Dead Air once. It wasn't a very good movie. I I remember
Is that the like 2006 movie or something like that?
it was 2009, and Bill Moseley was like a radio host.
Radio host, yeah.
But like Bill Moseley, I love Bill Moseley. But he's like in everything. Like he's everywhere. And,
oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. By the way, I watched the movie Boar. I love that movie, by the way. And Bill Moseley does a really good part in it. But but it's just he's in a movie about the monstrous, like giant Australian murderous boar. It's like it's like I love Bill Moseley and I love the movie. But
I think the more shocking headline would be like, I watched a movie and Bill Moseley wasn't in it.
yeah, kind of, because I was like, the weird thing was I was waiting for Boar to release, and I never got any push notifications for it. So when I watched it last year sometime. But then I was already several months late, so it was like the marketing team for that movie. As first, they made a lot of noise, disgusting, and then there was nothing, and then the movie was just out. I was like, all right. So I watched it, but the movie's really good. I would recommend it if you like monster movies. But,
right on, man. Right on.
Yeah, well,
what do you think of Bill in this movie, though? Like, I'm curious to, like, I mean, the original Johnny was really iconic. Like, I mean, small scene, but like very memorable, especially with the line that he has. Yeah. But like, do you think he pulled it off well, or is it more of an imitation?
I think it's in this movie. I gotta say it's a little bit more of an imitation, but it's not that Bill Moseley does it bad, but I think he kind of falls into the shadow of the other actors, like the one playing Barbara or Tony Todd, because they are playing such a strong game that it is. I mean, it's hard to really go to that level,
especially in such a short period of time too. He's only given like a minute screen time, you know.
Yeah, so it goes, you know, they really put in such a strong character development and such a strong character believability that in that time he has, I don't think he has the, you know, he doesn't have the time to develop his character enough. So I think it's mostly an imitation, but that shouldn't fall on him. So it's
agreed. And he does it well enough to be like, oh shit, you know, he pulled that off pretty well. Like he pulled it off decent enough. And like you look at it, you see Bill Moseley, but like not completely. You see more Johnny than anything. And that's one thing about Bill Moseley's characters, like he has plenty of them, but a lot of the time you just see Bill Moseley in the role, and it can be a little bit distracting because he's in pretty much everything. But this is, I mean, granted, it's 1990, so he looks a little bit different, but I definitely see Johnny over Bill. So.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to see how, like, as you say, you have a action video for The Devil's Rejects, but if you want to see, like, Bill Moseley really, really shining, I think The Devil's Rejects is a good movie because when he is Otis, it's just, I fucking love that. It's
oh yeah, especially Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, it's because I'm not a particular fan of. Did that come through? Wait.
You said House of 1K.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
I like it, but then I watched The Devil's Rejects, and it kind of fell into the shadow.
Oh yeah, because it feels like a completely different like world, you know.
And Moseley, well, you know, I don't want to just say Moseley, but the three of them stepped up their game in such a massive and profound way that, like, whatever came before, it's sure it may have introduced those characters to us, but those characters are long dead. They have long evolved into something entirely new, a whole new beast, and rarely you get that in sequels. You never see that in sequels, and the level of evolution between the two movies was just, anything that could have come before. It could have been like a handwritten film by God, and it would still like be in the shadows of Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, and I gotta say that is very important when it comes to, you don't need to see the House of 1,000 Corpses to see the Devil's Rejects, because the characters in the Devil's Rejects is presented in such a way that you don't need the first movie. You just need, if you just watch the Devil's Rejects, you get enough. Like, because there's enough character development in that movie alone.
Absolutely.
Like, you get the background. You don't get the actual background, but you get that they have a background of being, serial killers or whatever. And so you don't even have to see the first movie in order to get the characters. And I love the movie. And Bill Moseley as Otis, I fucking love that.
That's one thing I love about Bill in general, though, the fact that he can play a small role like Johnny and kind of be memorable, and he can play a leading man like Otis and be fucking memorable. Like, his acting talents are so vast.
He's very
like,
versatile.
I hate to make this like, exactly. I hate to make this like the Bill Moseley show, because we've been talking about him for a little bit now. But my God, like, he is an absolute gem.
So let me put it back on to Patricia Tallman. As I said, she's been in some things, but stuff we haven't seen. She was mostly known as actually more of a stunt woman. She did a lot of stunt work on movies that we like. She did stunt work for Tales from the Dark Side and Creepshow 2, Monkey Shines, Wes Craven's Shocker. She also did Jurassic Park. She stunted for Laura Dern.
I think that's so cool that, like, she has history.
So she's a stunt woman?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
She was
I
doing.
love that she has the history with Romero, though, like Monkey Shines, Creepshow 2. I don't think Romero was involved with 2. I don't remember, but in any case, she has that connection to him, and it's one of those Tarantino / Zoe Bell situations where, like, she's a stunt woman, doesn't get the credit that she deserves. I'm going to make her a leading woman, and I think that's so fucking cool. You don't get that in a lot of movies.
She also stunted in Addams Family Values, which I think is really cool. The Stand, the miniseries for The Stand. And here's a really funny one. So, obviously, Tom Savini did Chill Factor, right?
There we go.
She stunted for Chill Factor, but not Tom Savini's Chill Factor.
That's so weird.
There was a 1999 movie called Chill Factor with Skeet Ulrich and Cuba Gooding Jr. And I remember the movie because I've seen it like a dozen times, and it's just one of those terrible like action movies, very reminiscent of like Speed or any one of those type of movies. And she did stunts for it, and it's just funny that it happened to be a movie called Chill Factor. Knowing her history.
Small world. Before we get into the whole final thoughts on the film, you want to tell that story just so we have it recorded on?
Yeah. So I think I've told it before, but so basically, in the early 2000s, Tom Savini started his own like horror series. It was a little horror anthology series, and it was called Chill Factor. And he had put out a DVD with the very first episode. It was a werewolf episode, very good episode. I have it on DVD. I have it signed by him. I loved it, absolutely loved everything about it. And so it was like a convention later after I had bought it and watched it, and he was at the convention I went to, and I went up to him, and I was asking him, I'm like, so, what's going on with Chill Factor? When are we going to get the next Chill Factor? I'm super excited for it. I can't wait for it. And he was telling me that, you know, they're working on it. They pretty much have the script done. Now they were just working on some other back end stuff, but it was coming soon. Well, like a good year went by, and I go to another convention, and he's there, and I go up to him, and, you know, there's still no second episode of Chill Factor. And I go up to him again, I'm asking him, same question, you know, what's going on with Chill Factor, man? I know you told me last year that it was coming, but, you know, we haven't gotten it yet. What's going on? And he pretty much fed me the same story. He said they ran into some issues, but it's still happening. So, you know, convention later, a convention later, a convention later. I pretty much bugged this guy every convention I went to that he was at for about 5 years.
Yeah, I kind of started dislikes you. Like,
so it got to the point where it was a couple years later, and I remember this so vividly. I started walking up to his table, and he looked over and he saw me. He connected eyes. He connected eyes with me, and he saw me walking towards him. And before I could get to his table, he goes, "I have no fucking news for you on Chill Factor, so don't ask me."
Oh, come on. I could totally see why he would do that.
And here's the interesting PS to that. Years later, when Bates and I became friends, I was super excited to get my Dawn of the Dead poster signed after I met George Romero. And I just happened to find out that Tom Savini was going to be at one of the upcoming conventions. We were both excited because
what?
Including Ken Faree.
Oh yeah, I remember that con. Yeah, right.
So when Ken Faree signed it, he basically warned us that nobody signs
on the head.
On the dead head. Only one person, one of two people could sign that. It's sacred area, and that's reserved for either George or Tom Savini. George already signed off to the side, so he was cool with that. So I was so excited about including Tom Savini's signature to really wrap that poster up. So I go up to, Bates and I are at the convention. I walk up to Tom Savini, and he kind of gives Bates this side look, but he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything, and he gives him this look right off the bat. So I explain the whole thing that Ken Faree said, and he's like, of course, that makes sense. I have to sign the head. So Tom Savini signed the signature perfectly across the Dawn of the Dead head. And I was like, hey, do you have any copies of Chill Factor on DVD? And he just gives us a look, opens the case, signs the cover, takes my money, and off we go.
Why would he do? Why would? Oh my god, you guys!
He was just quiet about it. He had a quiet, brooding anger. He just knew.
God.
And now you know why I fucking put you on the spot and made you feel super uncomfortable that one time we met Daniel Harris.
Yep.
Oh my god! Why are you such? Why are you doing?
But the best part is I wasn't even trolling him. I legitimately wanted to own the copy of Chill Factor because it was on DVD. So I was like, fuck yeah, not only am I going to buy that, but I'm going to have him sign it. And the stars aligned perfectly.
But you brought Bates with you. I
know.
It's been a long time since I've seen him, so he may not recognize me anymore, but I'm sure if I went up to him and told him that, brought up the story, I'm sure he would remember me. He literally he said, I don't have any fucking news for you on Chill Factor. Don't ask.
I as much as I love, I don't think that he's really disliking you. I just think it's a matter of, I would be the same. Yes, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think all of us would be.
I would be fuck you. I don't know. It's fuck. And you come here every year and ask me the same fucking thing. It's fuck you. I would be exactly the same person.
Oh,
Like,
he enjoyed it. He liked it as much as I did.
You know,
He may not admit it, but he does.
I would do the exact same thing. If someone came up to me, I was like, "All right, so when is that coming out?" Like, I would look him straight in the eye and I was telling him, like, you know what? Fuck you. That is when it's coming out.
It's one of my most cherished convention stories I have. I mean, we've been to dozens and dozens of conventions, and we have plenty of amazing stories from convention. But in terms of some of the better stories when it comes to interacting with some of the guests there, it's one of my favorite because it's I can't make that shit up, and it's just such a real story to me because it happened, and I got to live it. The only other story that comes close is the Gary Busey kid story.
Yeah, I was there too. I was right there.
I mean, it's a great. I mean, the only good convention story I have. Back when I played Warhammer 40K, we had a convention called Lincoln, and it was basically about board games and Warhammer, and so there was a tournament. They had a Warhammer tournament in which I participated in, and I played an army that hadn't been updated for 8 years. So I had several disadvantages, and then they had this guy come in a Space Marine suit, and he was gonna entertain everyone because it was he's in a Space Marine suit, so he's entertaining. But I am at the gaming table, really, into the game, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to, work with what I got, and I was really, what are you gonna say, focused. So he goes up to me, and he has this really amazing play suit, and it's really amazing. And he points a finger at me, and I'm telling him, yeah, can you fuck off? and then everyone just looked at him and oh.
Yeah, that one of those single spotlights on you moments.
Yeah, and sure, I'm on photo looking at him, telling him to fuck off, and and it was like I'm in a convention spotlight, and I'm gonna be. The photo was not used for promo of the convention, but it was just I was so focused on the game right there and then, and when he just came there, I was like, oh my god, can you just fuck off? It's like, but afterward, I actually went later on the convention and apologized because I felt really bad about that. Because he has this amazing suit, and it's really and it was really cool. It was really cool, but it was so my moment to shine, I spent it on telling someone to fuck off. But I mean, that's kind of my thing, right? So it's basically my Twitter. It's
Yeah, no, it definitely seems in line with your character. So. I will say that much.
So that is, I think, yeah. So also it was, so that is the only convention I have never been to. We only have one movie convention in Sweden that covers horror movies, and that is the sci-fi convention, and I haven't been there yet. I will go there at some time, but
or you could plan around our conventions around here. Then you'll have a reason to come to America because there's not many right now. I will say that.
Yeah, my main reason to go to America is actually to just hang out with Bates because I think he's a nice dude. So I don't need much more than that. I don't need much.
Literally 25 minutes from Bates, so you're hanging out with me too, so we're gonna do a live commentary whenever you get.
Yeah, no, we'll plan something if all the details get hammered down and everything gets lined properly. We'll have some fun, man.
Absolutely.
We'll talk more about it a little bit off stream. But so let's go ahead and let's wrap this up. So obviously, at the end of every commentary, we kind of do a quick rundown on the movie and we each give our own rating. So as most people know who follow me on Twitter, who's known me for a long time, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's my favorite remake. I like this movie better than the original. Not that I don't like the original. I love the original. But I just like the things that I feel like this movie fixed some of the wrongs, some of the things that they didn't get quite right in the original. And Patricia Tallman is just mind-blowingly amazing in this film. Her growth and her character development, and the fact that Savini decided, what they did with the characters from Dawn of the Dead and the progression to Day of the Dead with how the strong female characters. He decided to right that wrong with Barbara being such a very weak and fragile character in the original, and made her just a complete badass in this one. And it was a beautiful transition. And Tony Todd, he harnessed everything that made Ben such a great character in the original, and in my opinion, did it perfectly, and almost in some aspects even enhanced it. And every other character just felt so beautifully natural and perfect complements to the original characters. Aside from the what was the original girl's name? The original zombie girl, Kyra Keeley, is that her name?
Kyra Sean, that was her.
Oh, okay.
Her real.
So obviously she was great in the original, and now the actress who played her in the remake, that was really the only I would say miss in this movie. But one miss and 99 hits. All good in my book. This movie is amazing. If you're a fan of the original and have never seen the 1990 remake, please go and do yourself a favor. Watch this movie. You'll see exactly what I mean. It does no disservice to the original. It only enhances it. And Savini did an amazing job. I really wish that he went on and directed and wrote a lot more than he did, because it shows that, especially his direction, that he's got an eye. There's a lot of really beautiful shots in this movie, a lot of great scenes, and it's just overall a super enjoyable movie from beginning to end. There are no slow parts. This movie is easily a 9 out of 10 for me. What do you got on your end, Mungus?
I'm going to go and start right off the bat and call it a 9. I was pretty much... But if you asked me before I rewatched this movie, I might have given it a little bit less, simply because I'm such a big fan of the original movie. And rewatching it, like I said earlier, it was an absolute joy to walk down this memory lane again, to kind of really see what Savini set out to do and watch him accomplish it. I can echo most of the points that you said, but I think the strongest thing that this movie did was to build upon and not just recreate what George did in the 60s. A lot of time has passed from the late 60s to 1989 when the movie was being shot. And, it only made perfect sense to kind of evolve the movie in that sort of way. And I think that was, the best thing that could have happened to the movie, from a script standpoint, from a filmmaking standpoint. He doesn't come in there to make it his own. He comes in and adds to it and builds upon a already solid structure. And it fires on all cylinders, for lack of a better way to put it. There's just so much being done with the movie that has already been done by George, but it also opens up the talking points to many different avenues. And I think if you're taking away anything from that, it's the commentary and what this little low-budget 60s movie had to say to begin with. And they used that same exact sort of platform to do it again with other strong points while still maintaining the original points. So I think, that is the best reason to watch this film. The acting is great, minus the little Karen zombie, but we'll forgive that. The shots are great. I wouldn't say that the shots, like, Tom Savini has a great eye for it, only because it seems so much like the original. And I don't even want to say that's a bad thing, because like he kept in line with what came before him. Why change something that worked already? So maybe he has the best eye because he saw that before even trying to quote unquote make it his own, like a lot of remake directors would. And beyond that, I suppose, the acting is just beyond superb. I wish that Dwayne Jones had lived a few years longer than he did, because unfortunately he passed away in 1988. To see Tony Todd really bring his essence to life again. Maybe him dying earlier was the universe's way of like giving Tony Todd that energy, because he captured the role of Ben in the only way that he possibly could, and that was like the way Dwayne Jones did. So, in essence, it's the perfect remake. Barely anything to really write negatively home about, and it's very deserving of a 9. What about you, Stefan?
I will have to mostly agree with both of you. Like, it has, as you say, most of the feels like a really more like a tribute to the original, but it kind of expands on that, and I really like it. As I pointed out, there is a scene in which they check doors. I think that scene is very important. Like, they check the doors if they are suitable enough to nail up on the windows, and that talks about like a sort of detailed thinking that maybe movie makers today should think about when they're writing the scripts. I really like it. The acting is superior, and everything about it is really good. I don't think that this takes away anything from the original. Like, it doesn't ruin the original. I think it, as Bates puts it, it only improves on the original. I think this movie is the movie that Romero wanted to make, and I really like it. I gotta say, it's been a time since I rewatched it, but as I rewatched it tonight, I feel like I'm pretty certain that it is, as I say, a 9 out of 10, because it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies that, I mean, it's nearly 30 years old, and it just holds up extremely well because it's so simplistic. It doesn't try to overdo anything. It keeps the characters on a very simplistic level, and the effects are great, and there's nothing like that just seems over the top about it. And that's what really allows it to age increasingly well. I think in 30 years from now, when this movie is 60 years old, it's going to feel very similar. It's still going to feel like it aged perfectly. And that's what I love about very simplistic, low-budget movies, is that when they're done right, they age like a fine wine or like a gorgeous cheese. And everyone should know how much I like cheese. And this is a very good cheese.
Oh, cheese too. I'm just saying.
But this was a really good pick. This is actually like one of the first movies that we've done a live commentary that Mungus picked, and it was a fantastic pick. This was a really fun movie to watch and talk about, because I don't feel like this is a movie that gets its due. You know, I feel like this movie kind of gets forgotten about. It's a shame because it's a fantastic movie. You know, most horror fans love the original, love the '68 version, and as well they should. But I do feel like about half of them forget that this movie exists. mainly because it is a remake. And a lot of horror fans kind of shun remakes. In some aspects I get it, but in others, sometimes remakes are necessary. And I believe this was a remake that was necessary, and it worked perfectly. There were so many beautiful homage shots, homage shots to the original, and Savini wasn't going to do wrong by George. Not something he would have done. So what we ended up with is a perfect remake, to the point where we may never see a remake as perfect as this one ever again.
Well said, man.
Well, that is going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. Much appreciated. If you're listening to this at a later date, thank you very much. Make sure you follow us over on Twitter at Dead End Site, and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/deadentertainment. You can also follow me and Mungus on Twitter at Bates_MotelMT and at Ray Mungus. You can also follow our Swedish buddy Stefan over on Twitter at TARDULV. I will
do that.
Yes,
I'm going to start a fight with you if you
most
do.
likely.
Don't follow me. It's terrifying.
It is.
You can go ahead, Stefan. Plug your other stuff.
Right. So I got a.
You got a what?
YouTube horror channel.
Don't
mock my accent. It's fucking 4 a.m.
No, I was saying not your accent. You cut out for a second there. I wanted.
Okay. All right. So, follow my YouTube channel. It's Tardulv here on YouTube. I talk about horror movies and stuff like that. And you can follow my Twitter if you wanna, decrease your sanity levels. And that's basically it. I also have a Twitch, but I don't stream that much anymore. But sometimes I do, and I mostly stream Jurassic World because I love dinosaurs. And no one likes dinosaurs, so no one watches. So it's all really great. Everything is going swell. But otherwise, follow me here on YouTube. That's where I put the content anyway. So thank you.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. We'll be probably coming back at you sometime, I would say late in March, because we are planning to try to get to
and we're gonna watch the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna watch. Yeah.
Stefan is calling it.
And we're gonna watch Greats Cry live.
Yeah, no. We're gonna keep this up with really good movies, and I already have the next movie in mind. I know what we're watching next month.
Ooh.
So
I'm interested.
Oh, you should know what I'm picking because we haven't watched it yet, and it's one of our favorite movies, and we need to do it.
Does it have to do with anything that involves any sort of grin?
Oh, of course.
Oh, my brother. Testify.
We're going to boogie, you know it.
And we get to visit Ricky again.
Oh, good old Ricky.
And
we can't go about more than a month or two without seeing Ricky. We love Ricky.
Oh, I'm really excited. I might have to schedule that a little sooner than later.
I'm putting on my condom right now, man. I'm just saying.
Poor Stefan's like, what have I got myself into?
Yeah, run, Mungus, run.
All right, you little cretins. Let me finish wrapping up here. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Much appreciated. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you like us over on Facebook. Make sure you also subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit that bell. We podcast almost every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the Way of Life Live podcast. We talk horror, we talk geek, we talk comics. So, if you like any of that stuff, tune in every Wednesday night for that podcast. It's a lot of fun. We dive into some fun topics, fun subjects. We do mostly news, but at the end of the day, we do have a lot of fun with it. So check that out. So thank you guys once again for hanging out with us tonight. Hope you enjoyed the movie. Hope you enjoyed the commentary. We will see you on the next one. We will see you on Wednesday night. And we'll start announcing the next commentary in the coming weeks. As I said, I already know what we're going to watch. And it's going to be a good one. It's one of our favorite movies. And I'm sure a lot of you guys probably haven't heard of it or even seen it. So keep that in mind. And you guys are in for a treat for the next one. So thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.